Welcome, everyone, to a surprise special episode of the Tooth Sleuth podcast. You know who I am, Greg Essenmacher, and I have on two of my favorite people in the world, and we're here promoting something super special, and I'll get to that in a second. So my two guests today, first is Billie Prisby, and if you don't know her, well, I think you probably do, but with 28 years of experience in marketing and dental in the industry, Billie is a co-founder and CEO of PrestoSmile. It's a startup that's changing the landscape and revolutionizing, try saying that 3 times, revolutionizing the dental industry. Go ahead, giggle, ladies. I know you do all the time. It's all good. The dental industry with AI and marketing. She has an MBA in business management, a focus on marketing, a BS. There's a lot of BS that comes from her in biology and psychology, an RDA in dental assisting, and multiple certifications in social media marketing and international orthodontics. And my other guest is none other than Laura Nelson. Laura is the founder of Front Office Rocks and the co-founder of Sober Life Rocks, which you've heard many times on this program. I may be a founding member. A groundbreaking initiative aimed at normalizing sober choices in professional environments. Sober Life Rocks provides a supportive community for successful business people who choose sobriety, empowering them to thrive in their personal and professional lives. Welcome, ladies!
Just the fact that we're all on the same calendar schedule is crazy, right?
I mean, how that happened, the stars aligned, and it's all just, all the things. It's happening, all the things. Yep. Well, I'm super excited because this is a special episode, and I don't want to be the one to share why we're all here today. But Billie, I think I want you to share why we're all here today, because you really are the one who brought us together and many others together for really like the coming out party. And we're all going to get together in, the concrete jungle here in less than a month's time. So please do tell.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. As you know, this is always so much fun to come on this podcast. And Laura, thank you so much for just coming on and just, your support, honestly, from the dental community over the years. That's really kind of how everything started. So we are doing our big coming out party at the Greater New York. We're going to have just a lot of fun, DJs, raffles, all of these things. And, I reached out to a mutual friend that we have, Samantha Strain, and I just said, hey, listen, I really
love me some Samantha.
Me too. I wanted to really, I had an idea of making it super inclusive where everybody's, involved. And I've been going to the dental meetings for, almost 30 years now. And I just wanted to not make it all about drinking at the event. I'm sober-ish. That's me. But I wanted to get Sober Life Rocks involved with what we're doing because, as we go through these events, I want people to not feel alone, to say, hey, it's fine to not have a drink whenever you're at the meetings or at the events and things like that. And so anyways, I reached out to Samantha Strain, not realizing that Laura and Greg were the founders. I had no idea because I'm in my own little bubble, the dental universe. And I met Greg at the Chicago meeting, and he was telling me about it. And I was just completely like, this is awesome. I can't believe it's taken so long for somebody to put something like this together. And so for me, it was just not even a thought when we were planning the Greater New York to see if it was going to be possible. So we're honored to have you guys there supporting us and just the community at large. So thank you.
Well, and love it. Love that you're doing the coming out party at the Greater New York Dental Meeting. 100 years they're celebrating this year, which is fantastic. And I just want to put a little caveat. I'm a founding member. I'm not one of the founders of Sober Life Rocks. That would be Laura and Margie Schaller. And I don't want to take away from all the work that they've done as the founders, the co-founders. But a founding member. I was one of the first ones.
You're there. You're on the mountaintop with us, yelling from the mountains.
Thank you. I believe in the mission for sure. And so, Laura, please share more on that, because I just love that Billie has brought us in to be able to help to celebrate and be able to offer options other than alcoholic beverages. And if you choose to partake, that's great, right? we're cool with that. We just love that we have wingmen and wing women who support us and say there can be another option at events. So please share what the participation of Sober Life Rocks is going to be in helping to celebrate Presto Smile's coming out party at the Greater New York Dental Meeting's
I know.
100 years of the Greater New York
It's
Dental Meeting. I can't
crazy
even
when you think
fathom
about
that, right?
it.
For
No.
all the meetings that we go to 100 years. I know. So the AADGP just celebrated 50 years last year. And I was a speaker there and thought, 50 years, this is incredible. And then this came up 100 years. I just wrapping my brain around that. I just can't. So
So
Laura,
great. It's
tell
so
us
good.
about that. Yeah.
So I'm super excited about Presto Smiles and everything coming out at the Greater New York. I'm excited to go to the Greater New York, but also how you guys have included Sober Life Rocks. So Sober Life Rocks is, we're just here to normalize sober choices. It doesn't mean you have to be sober. You could be sober-ish, sober curious, sober wingman, doesn't matter. But what we want to do is just make it normal for people to choose to drink or not to drink. It's your choice. But here's what I love about you guys, Billie, and what you're doing. You're including us in the party. You're not making us an afterthought. You're not putting the kids' drink over in the corner and saying, oh, here's the mocktail and it's sticky lemonade. You're actually finding ways to include non-alcoholic options so that people can walk up and choose whatever they want and feel part of the party and not over here like, oh, we want to honor those who don't drink. Like, we don't want to be special. We just want to be part of it. And my analogy to it is like vegans and vegetarians now at conferences. It's, you just get served with everyone else. You get your vegetarian meal. That's the same thing here. So kudos to you. Sober Life Rocks has only been around 1 year at the end of this month. And so for it to be a year, to be able to come to Greater New York with a brand new company who's launching, with an established meeting, and have Sober Choices and Sober Life Rocks be part of it. We're just so stoked and honored. I'm so excited. So thank you for that.
Thank you. You said something so critical there. A part of, right? You know, and the sticky lemonade. I'm not going to get sticky lemonade out of my head the rest of the day. That's going to be the phrase that pays today. Sticky lemonade. How many times can I say sticky lemonade? Right?
Oh my gosh,
you should have like a
hashtag. Press the hashtag when we do all of our...
sticky lemonade, Andrea. Sticky lemonade. We gotta use that. I mean, there might even be like a sticker with that hashtag sticky lemonade.
I'm literally writing it down. I'm not even kidding.
We have a hashtag. You started that one, Laura. You know I'm gonna finish it for sure. It's kind of the way we are, for sure. But also, you know, it is that sense of, right, with Sober Life Rocks, and it is that, you know, for me, it's always been, you know, I've been sober 20 years, and it's okay, I'm gonna please put that in a short glass club soda and put a wedge of lime in it, so that it blends in, right? Because being a part of but the dental community in general, I've found, you know, the 18 years I've been in the dental community, not quite as long as yourself, Billie or Laura, but I've always found it to be very uplifting and welcoming. However, traditionally, these conferences and the events that are put on, so often the big blowouts, or where a lot of the networking takes place, is around the evening events. And it is all around alcohol and drinking, and to be able to bring in non-alcoholic beverages where they do blend in and people feel welcomed in, so that can take place, I think is so critical. You know, just like the game changer that PrestoSmile is in the AI community for the smile designs that happen, right? To be able to show people the before and after instantly, right? With their phone. So it's not clunky machinery, and it's not all this, you know, you have to have, you know, ExoCAD designer,
right,
you know, all this training, right?
So it's instant. A conversation, right? We're not trying to.
It's just, it's that instant society, right? You know, just like with Instagram stories, forward, click, 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 click. It's the same with PrestoSmile, you know, whether you're doing it for ortho or whitening, or in my lane in full arch with GNA Consult, it doesn't matter that, you know, it's meeting the need, you know, and solving the problem, right? Or the challenge, or overcoming the challenge with something that it seems so easy, but it's not easy. It's simple, but it's not necessarily easy, because it's changing mindset. And do you ladies find that really overcoming mindset is more of what it's about?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Well, and I would even say, Billie, I'm going to point this again, high five, kudos with you, because one thing that we're finding in this sober journey we're on is it now we're getting people to say, oh, why haven't we done this? Like you said, Billy said, why haven't you done this before? But now you're challenged with the meeting planners and the conferences and what's allowed to come and what's not allowed to come. And Billy, you're fighting a fight with me, which I super appreciate, of like, why can't we have better options? Just like you're saying, like, why can't we show our patients what their teeth are going to look like afterward? Like, if somebody doesn't ask the question, then we are not pushing the envelope to make this not easy, but simple solution to help, help people feel more included or see what the outcome could be.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's exactly my mindset. Like, you don't know until you ask, and you just keep pushing until you get the answer that you need, right? I mean, to me, it just shouldn't seem to be such a fight for whether it's AI or sober choices. Like, I worked in a restaurant for years, and we always had sober options. So it's a very normal, natural thing there. I mean, the restaurants I go to typically have mocktails. There's nights that I don't feel like having a drink either. So I'm just like, oh, let me get this mocktail. Best, I'm giving a shout out, and I get no money for this, for Cheesecake Factory. They really do have the best mocktails. I recommend that you
They
try it.
really do.
They're
I worked
so
for the
good.
Cheesecake Factory for a couple of years. They really forward thinking with all of that. I agree. And, for those of you, and Laura, you didn't know that I was going to do this, but I do have an advanced copy of your book called The Inclusive Event Planner. And so for those of you who are on the audio version and listening to this, you can flip over to the YouTube channel, and I have an advanced copy of The Inclusive Event Planner by Laura Nelson. I have an advanced copy. I don't even know that she knew that I got this, but I got this hot off the press. And so
You're the first person to hold
it really is, and
awesome.
it really is a step-by-step that helps, because sometimes as well, I don't know that it's necessarily like intentionality, but it really is, give me a step-by-step, tell me how to do it, and make it simple, right? Make it easy, simple and easy for me to be able to implement. And so I want to talk about this too, because, Billy, with PrestoSmile's coming out party at the 100-year, anniversary of the Greater New York, which still, just to say that, blows my mind. So tell me a little bit about what people can expect when they come over to PrestoSmile's booth. Like, what kind of demos you got lined up? What are some sneak peeks? Give my listening audience a little peek behind the curtain. Tell them what they can expect when they come over to the PrestoSmile booth over at the Greater New York Dental Meeting 100th anniversary.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you. So I'm going to tell you, one of the biggest things I'm excited about is we're having a DJ there. So as Greg mentioned, the psychology part of it is, doesn't matter if you are sober. Exactly. It doesn't matter if you're sober or if you're going to have a cocktail or not. We are not doing cocktails, by the way. We're doing beer and wine. But if you're going to have an adult beverage or, either choice, you literally will have to take a PrestoSmile in order to get it. So that's the caveat. So we're going to literally have a bunch of phones there. We're going to take these mock-ups, text them to you, and then basically you could have the drink of your choice, either side of the spectrum. But we decided to do the DJ and try to do line dances and just anything that's fun and loud and in your face while we're there, because it just makes you feel good, right? We're there to have fun. We're there to celebrate the Greater New York Centennial. We're there to, celebrate people smiling. We're there to celebrate making more doctors, just more money for them, for the clinical team members. They want to put it to the side, but come on, we are a business at the end of the day. We're helping patients, which is the number one thing, but, just as a bonus, we're going to be able to make additional revenue. So we're just trying to make it super fun, all inclusive. Doesn't matter who you are. Kids, I want the kids to come over because that's going to be super fun. But we're really going for that New York graffiti vibe. We also are doing giveaways. We have raffles. So anything from a tablet to a smartwatch, all the way down to club level NFL tickets. So we have a lot of really cool things that we're going to be doing throughout the event. And so, yeah, it's just going to basically be a big party the whole time. So just stop in and see what our app is about and just have fun, hang out with all of your colleagues.
Yeah, love that. And I had another question lined up in my head, and then you said club level NFL tickets, and my mind went completely blank. And I mean, you speak to the right audience, and suddenly it's like, I got nothing. I have absolutely nothing. And podcast host, like, why didn't I write down that note of the next question I was going to ask? Right? I got nothing. Right? Well, and it leads, like, I know what I was gonna ask now. It was, well, if anyone's undecided of coming to the Greater New York Dental Meeting this year, I mean, what a great opportunity to say, if you're waffling, maybe you should just come for, the fun, right? The raffle and the fun, and it really is all about, right, the joy that there is in dental. And I know what it was, right? GNA Consult, we really work on case acceptance, right? It's huge as what we do with our clients in the full arch lane, but across the spectrum, right? So, and I mentioned it before, and it's pretty much, with anything that has to do with smile design, whether it's ortho, teeth whitening, you name it, all the way up to full arch with PrestoSmile, and to be able to see it live. Right? So have that happen so you can experience it yourself as a clinician, as an office manager, as a treatment coordinator, as all the way hygienist, you name it, anyone, to be able to experience it yourself and see what it is and touch and feel it. But I know everyone in the dental industry, it's okay, show me. Show me how it works. Show me that it works, right? Show me first, and then maybe I'll consider it, right? Because it's the try before you buy mentality nowadays, rather than, let's get that 60, 70, $80,000 piece of equipment, and it ends up being the most expensive coat hanger in the back of the break room type of thing, right? So I think that's critically important. And then Laura, the participation with Sober Life Rocks at the booth as well, having the mocktails and whatnot. Tell us what else we can expect from Sober Life Rocks participation in the event as well.
For sure. And actually, I'm going to go back on my dental knowledge for a minute, Greg. What you're talking about is the one thing about PrestoSmile that I love is they're bringing in this out in fun. Like, it's going to be a fun thing. People get to use it live. And so if you're a doctor going, you don't have your team there. If you do, bring your team over and let your team experience this. Because I teach front office team members, and they're your first and last impression of everything you do in the practice. And if your team's not there, don't buy PrestoSmile and then bring it to your team and say, here's one more thing you have to do, because your team is like, I don't even have time to go to the bathroom. So, like, literally introduce it to them and talk to me while I'm there. I'm going to be hanging out at the booth of how can you better introduce it to your team, because your team will stand in the way of making it happen if they don't find the fun in it and they don't experience it themselves, like you're saying, Greg. So, side note there, that's my dental talk going. With regards to, Billie is working with a few of our great alcohol-free brands that are supporters of Sober Life Rocks. So we're trying to find the right brands to have at the booth with us. I will be hanging out at the booth. You will be hanging out at the booth. I will have copies of my new book at the booth. So anyone who's HR or a meeting planner can come by and get a copy of the book. And mostly we're just going to be there as part of the party, doing the dancing. You don't have to, you can drink or not drink, but we can still line dance. I'm not the best at it, but Greg's going to get me out there doing some fun stuff. Right? So what I would say is, as soon as you show up to Greater New York and you get your book, go right through the exhibitors thing, circle PrestoSmiles, and tell everybody on your team, either meet there at a certain time or everybody go see them, come over and have fun with us. It's just, the whole idea is to let everybody feel included and be part of the fun, part of the celebration.
Absolutely. And to nail down also with the Smile mock-ups, with them doing it live and in person, I couldn't agree more. When I go into these offices and we're signing up new clients, that is the clincher. When you go in there, and the funniest thing is, because it is so easy, what happens is there's a slight learning curve, because everybody's used to doing selfies. So it's like up too high, you have to adjust them. Like, this is like a dental camera. So the one thing that we notice very quickly when we show it in person, they say, well, do I have to do anything? Like, no, that's it. They're good. What? I don't have to. No, that's it. It's just picture. It's automated. It does it for you. And they are just completely shocked. And then at that point, they're like, oh my gosh. I'm like, yeah, literally, it's like 30 seconds, unless your internet's a little wonky. But, other than that, it's just that small learning curve. And when they see it in person, it's seeing is believing. One of our biggest super users, Dr. Chuck Lee, he's a 7-Day Dental in California. And that's what he tells everybody. He takes pictures. That's the other thing. It's mobile, guys. So that's why we're able to do it at the booth, anywhere, in the restaurant, at night, at a networking event. It doesn't matter. But he goes to restaurants. He is a trip. He sells everybody on dentistry because it's a mobile business card. So he'll see them at the restaurant. He tells the waiter, hey, let me take your picture. I'm going to show you what your smile could look like. I'm going to take your great smile and make it a rock star smile. You want to see? That's his line. And so he takes these pictures and he texts it right to the office, obviously, and to the patient at the same time, well, potential patient. And he's been getting new patients, which was an application that I thought of, but just didn't really know how many people would do it. Well, Dr. Lee does, and he gets new patients all the time. So that's just another, way to do it.
Man, talk about getting your team involved and making a competition out of it and sending
Yes,
them out
we
in
do
the
that.
world.
Yes.
And just,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I can't wait to collaborate with you guys to talk about how we
Oh,
can
I
make
love
this
this
work.
contest. We're definitely in sync with that. That's a lot of the things that we're doing now with the offices, which is why we're offering clinical team members a contest where it's a $500 bonus. And we'll be talking about that at the Greater New York as well. And they also get an extra week for free. That's the one thing I forgot to say. We typically do try before you buy. That's where I was going with that, believe it or not. That was a long-winded way to get there, Greg. Try before you buy.
No, we never have that happen when we get on a conversation all in the same room. No.
So the try before you buy is exactly right. So not only do I go in and show them, but now I sign you up for 2 weeks free, 14 days. Well, here's the thing. We have practice advocates who have a group text. And so what we see on the back end is they haven't opened the app yet, or they've only taken 1 or 2 pictures. We're quick to say, hey, what do we need to do? Or if they do take pictures, we coach them through. And if they don't get to it, because it happens, we're dental people. It gets crazy, or, it's like between up front and then in the back. And then it could be very, very hectic in a dental office. So I give the flexibility because I see what's going on. I actually reach out to them and I say, hey, notice you're not using it. Let me go ahead and extend it another week or 2 for you. And let me get in there and get you, moving and get this working for you and the doctor. So yeah, that was the try before you buy. And we're a big believer in that, just because we're dental people. We know we don't do contracts and we do a money back guarantee, because if something works, you don't need a contract. And I stretch it and I'm accommodating.
I almost feel like, Greg, you and I are going to hit the streets of New York with this. We're going to go out. We're going to have a competition that weekend. We're going to go find some strangers on the street. We're going to have some fun. This is going to be
exactly.
Amazing.
And
that's what we're doing.
And I love the fact you talk about the small learning curve, and it can be fun too, especially if you are doing that learning curve. Because Billie, when I first got exposed to PrestoSmile, I did it and I had my teeth open, right? So I had my mouth open a little bit and it looked like I was foaming at the mouth like Cujo. And we had a good laugh over it when I sent it to you. And you're like, yeah, like, could you put your teeth together, Greg? And I'm like, oh, but I like this picture. And I used that picture actually like with friends, and I was sending it to, and I'm like, see, this is what happens when I get stark raving mad as an entrepreneur. This is what happens when employees don't do what I tell them to do. And we had a good laugh. But also what you lifted it up here, both of you, and it's about that team collaboration. And it's so critically important. And I think using tools, right, technology and things that help patients, but also helping to get that stickiness fidelity with team members. And we can talk all we want about it's so difficult to find good team members. Well, if we use tools and we have things that can help us to create that fidelity and team collaboration and culture within our own offices, critically important to be able to implement that. Ladies, any final thoughts before we wrap up here and talking about the Greater New York Dental Meeting Centennial Celebration and the coming out party with PrestoSmile in collaboration and welcoming in and being all inclusive with Sober Life Rocks today?
Go ahead, Laura. You go first.
I stunned you.
I
have never in my life, ever have I ever had the two of these ladies ever be stunned silence, like have nothing to say, ever.
We're both trying to be polite to one another. Like, I'll go, you go. I would say, again, I would love to have conversations with anyone that comes by to talk about PrestoSmile, talk about Front Office Rocks, talk about Sober Life Rocks. I mean, that's what we're all trying to do, is just open up the communication. And since, Greg, you dropped the book in there, I'll put a little plug. If you are planning your holiday event, planning your 2025 conference, the book is a guide that you can download for free on my website. You can also buy a copy on Amazon, and we will have some there. But it's not about just having alcohol-free options at your bar. It's about including everyone into your to your conference, to your meeting, whatever you're planning. And there's a lot of people I talk about in there. It has nothing to do with alcohol. They just they're not coming for various reasons because they don't feel included. And so I'm all about 2025 being the year that everyone feels included. So I'm excited. Thank you, Billie, for inviting us to be part of the fun. I'm excited for everything that you got planned.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And, the thing that I'll add to that is that's just our mission at PrestoSmile. I mean, to Laura and Greg, like we did not know Laura was writing this book when we said, hey, we want to have, that be a part of what we're doing. I have always been a believer in including everybody in any type of event. And so for me, it was just a no-brainer. And I'm super excited. And to be honest with you, when I figured out everything with Greg, he'll tell you my secret was what he said with the club soda and the lime and the splash of crayon. And so I was like, everybody's drinking here. And he wasn't. I was like, whoa, like, because he had so much energy. I got to tell you, I was not convinced. And then I realized that's just you.
We all wonder at times. We're like, Greg, let me sip cup. No,
the
you're
sniff
good.
test.
But I just wanted to say, honestly, for us, I mean, as the CEO and just as the, overall, I'm sorry, guys, that's my dogs. Hold on. That really screwed that up.
No, it just means it just adds to the flavor, right?
But
just your dog's so excited.
They're excited. But I just wanted to just put out there that we're just honored and excited to have you guys even want to be a part of it. I mean, you could have easily said no. And so for us, we're really the ones that are honored. So thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, my guest today, and again, so excited about the Greater New York Dental Meeting 100 Centennial, which will be the coming out party for PrestoSmile. My guest has been Billie Prisby, the co-founder and CEO of PrestoSmile, and in collaboration with Laura Nelson, who is the founder of Front Office Rocks, and being collaborated and bringing in the all-inclusive Sober Life Rocks as the co-founder of Sober Life Rocks. And you all know me, the founder and CEO of GNA Consult. Ladies, I cannot wait for this meeting that starts here in just a few weeks in New York, New York. We're going to have a great time. No hashtag sticky lemonade.
On every Greater New York Coast and Sober Life Rocks now, I better see hashtag no sticky lemonade.
Exactly. No sticky lemonade.
Thank you so much, ladies. I will see you very soon and see all of my listening audience at the Greater New York Dental Meeting.